Halito. What up, everybody? Those that are tuning in and those that will tune in later. Welcome to Fire Fridays, Dife for Fridays. What's up? We count down to MardiGras, to Carnival. We count down. Who with me? Who with me? Who with me? So, when dealing with the Creole culture, it's a gumbo pot. Oh, it's so rich and just spiritually yummy. So, we're dealing with the green fairy today. All right. We're dealing with the famous drinks of MardiGras, Carnival time. We're dealing with the famous drinks. All right. And we're going to deal with that green fairy. That's absinthe. If y'all saw the movie, what was it, Girls Trip? Well, they tapped into some absinthe. All right. Mike Epps was the one who gave it to him, and it was like on one. When they went to that club before they went out, Tiffany Haddish was just pouring it in a cup. And when he sold it to her, he was like, look here, take a little bit, because this been aging for a long time. Just take a little bit. But she was just pouring that shit with a heavy hand. And they saw what that absinthe do. Because that absinthe ain't no joke. So I'm going to share a couple of recipes, and we're going to go over some of the different drinks that you can make leading up to MardiGras, Carnival, even if you're not going to Mobile, Alabama, which is the home of MardiGras. But New Orleans, they took it to the next level. It's all in that area, right? So MardiGras, Carnival started in Mobile, Alabama. And, of course, Louisiana. New Orleans just took it to the next fucking level. So, peace to everybody in the chat, those observing, those who will be observing later. So, we're going to deal with this green fairy. This is a potent drink. And I'm going to see if I can find that clip. Let me pull up my disclaimer. Because Mike Epps, he sold her ass some absinthe. That green fairy. All right. So, sometimes you can take it with a sugar cube. And it gets the green color because of the green anise, star anise, but the green one. So yeah, that green one, it ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. Y'all doing all right tonight? What y'all sipping on? Y'all sipping on some absinthe? Now, I had planned, it starts snowing and shit. I had planned to go to the store and start my own bottle of absinthe. You can make your own, just like people make their own moonshine, their own wines, etc. My great grandmother, she used to make her own wine. And a couple of my uncles from Louisiana, they made their own moonshine too. And I know rum and bourbon are the staples for Louisiana, but like I said, the Creole culture is a gumbo pot. So we're going to be coming from some books today with just some little recipes in it. All right, the Hoodoo Herb and Root Magic book. We're going to come from this book today. We got Incense, Oils, and Brews. We're going to come from that. And 6 Stones, Roots and Bones. These are some good book tips. All right. And of course, I do have some herbal healing books. I do. I got some herbal healing books. And I can see that, but herbal healing. So I got some stuff in my arsenal. I don't share all, but I don't gatekeep like that because the truth is there is no secrets. Everything is known. It's within you. It's no secrets. People be trying to act like it's a secret and shit. It's no secret. Yeah, we're gonna be dealing in the Wikipedia. So, who in here has some absinthe before? Or y'all made your own absinthe? Let's see. Let me get my disclaimer because I want y'all to see Mike Epps sell Tiffany Haddish some of this absinthe in Girls Trip. And they was tripping. Y'all remember that? Let me get my disclaimer up real quick. I hope y'all having a good Friday evening. Did y'all have a good week? We got a fucking 3-day weekend. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. Negro Indian holiday. So yeah. What y'all plan on doing? Well, I'm getting this together. Pulling up my disclaimer. And we're going to go forward. Who had absinthe before? Don't y'all all speak at once. Don't y'all all speak at once. Or you made your own wine. What kind of liquor have you made? Liqueur. Potent drink for sacred inebriation. What type of drink did you make to take you to that other level? All right. Where's my disclaimer? I had it on the screen, y'all. Excuse me. I'm pulling it up because I'm about to find that clip because it's funny to me. I was like, what they know about absinthe? But they was in New Orleans for, I believe it was the Essence Fest. Because the girl that had the book, she was doing her promo and shit down there. I guess ain't nobody had no absinthe. Peace to everybody in the chat. Peace, Chico. We talking about that green fairy. You knew a few people that bought some absinthe in Germany and are way back from Iraq. You didn't get to try it though. It's potent. The longer you let it sit, it's just like liquor. Things that ferment, the longer you let it sit, it gets stronger and fucking stronger. So, with the Creole culture, it's a gumbo pot. So you have a lot of cultures and their foods and their drinks because everybody has a little bit of everything in their bloodline. So their culture, they're going to have different foods, different drinks, different regalia, different dress, different slang, different languages. They're going to have a mixture of a lot of things. So absence is one of those in that pot of gumbo that we're going to go over. It ain't the only drink, but dealing with hoodoo, we're dealing with herbs and roots. And since we count down to MardiGras, Carnival time, this is, one of the topics. So this is my copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit education or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now I'm about to find that clip because I gotta play it because it's so funny. Yeah, I had planned to get the ingredients so that I could make it live with y'all, but it started snowing and icing and shit, and I was like, nah, I'll just give some recipes. We'll go over the staple drinks that people use, not just for sacred inebriation, but for celebration. So, all right, let me, all right.
I got ball spray. Everybody got a drink. I need a drink. Yeah. I got something for the kids. Ooh. For 25. Hey, beautiful. Right here. Come on, Yeah, right here. Call me beautiful. I'm beautiful now, huh? Oh, Lord. Hi. See, you got to be careful. Listen, I see you over there chasing the hurricane. I got the best thing in New Orleans right here. What's that? Look at that right there. What the fuck is that? Ooh. This is 200-year-old wormwood absinthe. Green fir.
Yeah, y'all see that shit? The green fairy. Yes, that's one of the ingredients is wormwood.
I want it. Give it to me. Hey, calm down. Now you don't know what you're getting into. This stuff right here come with instructions, okay? Well, I don't give a fuck. That shit is green, shiny, and looks like it'll have me hella bent. I want it. Yes, but you're only supposed to take a splash of this, young lady, because if you drink too much of it, it's gonna have you hallucinate. Right? All right, that's cool with me. Now look, that whole bottle will last you for 5 years, all right? Okay, 5 months. Got it. No. Did you hear what I just said? 5 years. You're not listening to what I'm. 5 days. I didn't. This will be used very irresponsibly. Thank you, young lady.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes, I remember that. Yes. So, yeah, yeah, it is a church. Yeah, I had a little bit of it before, but my goal is to make my own and age it myself so I can feel the natural potency of it because I made it. All right, so let's see. So they have all these stories about absinthe. Okay, let me pull it up. All right, so the origin of absinthe. Absinthe originated as a Swiss herbal tonic, and a lot of Wiccans and people that's into fairy spirituality and culture, they deal with absinthe, right? And that's why we got the Wikipedia today. Because, I delve into a little brewery, Currendismo. All right. So, all right. It was originated as a Swiss herbal tonic in the late 18th century, created by Dr. Pierre Ordinaire using wormwood, anise. It's the green anise, though. All right. And other botanicals for medicinal purposes before Bernard et Fils began mass producing it in 1805, turning it into a popular, then banned, bohemian spirit in France. All right. Famed for inspiring artists, but later targeted for its supposed dangers. Yeah, they always saying something is dangerous, but you do want to pay attention. When they say shit is dangerous, you do want to pay attention. But they say, oh, don't drink it. Oh, it's dangerous because they don't want you to tap in. That's the thing. They don't want you to tap in. So it is French. All right. Yes, it was a Swiss herbal tonic, but it was massively produced in France. All right. It was famed for inspiring artists, but later targeted for its supposed dangers. Its roots trace back to the ancient wormwood remedies, evolving from folk medicine to a potent alcoholic drink in the 19th century Europe. Early origins, ancient roots, wormwood, Artemisia absinthium, was used by Greeks and Romans as medicine. Of course, they gonna adopt some shit, with ancient texts describing it in herbal remedies for ailments like pain and jaundice. All right, folk medicine. Throughout the Middle Ages and beyond, wormwood remained a staple in folk medicine, used for everything from expelling intestinal worms to fumigating your house. The birth of modern absinthe, late 18th century. Swiss tonic. In the late 1700s, Dr. Pierre Ordinaire, a French physician, adopted a local herbal remedy in Cuvette, Switzerland, creating a potent green elixir with wormwood, anise, and fennel. So, yeah, it's a green fennel, green anise, and wormwood. All right. Then they talk about the first commercialization. The recipe was sold to Major David, who, with his son and his son-in-law, Henri Louis Pernod, founded the first absinthe distillery, Pernod et Fils, in 1797. All right. It made a rise to popularity. It was a French fad. Okay. So Louisiana, New Orleans, that little area. Of course, it was heavily influenced by not only the indigenous people, but the French and the Spanish. So it's going to be a little bit of everything. All right. So, okay. Mass production by Pernod in Couleur, France, made absinthe affordable, and its popularity exploded after French soldiers returning from Algeria brought back a taste for it as a malaria preventative. Okay, so they used it not only to get rid of intestinal worms, so it has holistic properties. So to get rid of intestinal worms and to prevent malaria. This is what they say. All right. The Green Hour. By 1860s, it was a cultural phenomenon in France, especially among artists and writers like Toulouse-Lautrec and Hemingway. During the Belle Epoque, symbolizing Bohemian culture, Prohibition and Revival, the ban. Then they started banning shit. Whenever you have a herbal drink that is holistic, it gets rid of intestinal worms, it prevents malaria and shit like that, and you get to feel good when you take it. Oh, they want to ban some shit and say it's dangerous. Okay, so they say the concerns over thujone, a compound in wormwood, alcohol poisoning, because some people, they don't know how to do shit in moderation. They will fucking overdo some shit. All right. So people had some alcohol poisoning because they was doing too much, and its association with the bohemian decadence led to absinthe being banned in many countries, including the US, France, Switzerland in the early 1900s. Modern resurgence. All right. Following legal relaxation, authentic absinthe production resumed, maintaining its mystique as the Green Fairy. So, and they have all these different, this is a good article. I looked at some articles before, but we also going to deal into the Wikipedia and Hoodoo herbs and roots. We going to look at that. All right, so And yeah, it's served with some sugar cubes. You know, that's old school, right? Okay. All right, so they basically just saying, okay, so absent drinkers, this enigmatic drink derives its vibrant green color from the chlorophyll found in various herbs used during the distilling process. So when you are distilling it, when it's fermenting and shit and getting all good and juicy to, you know, have holistic properties, it can be hallucinogenic. So if you want to do some for lack of another word, shamanic journeys, you want to travel a little, um, you know, you tap into the green fairy, all right? La Fee Verte. All right, the green fairy. So, all right. So they just say that it was the ingredients are wormwood oil, fennel, hyssop, and anise. All right, the star anise, or the green one. All right, or and you add alcohol content to it. You add some of that 90 to 148 proof shit to cure that shit, right? To, you know, make it potent, make it potent. All right, so it usually gets diluted before consumption, either with sweetened water or in a cocktail. So, like Mike Epps was telling her, like, you just use a splash of it. There are drinks that they use absinthe, you know, mixed drinks at bars. They'll throw a little absinthe in there. But how it originally started, it was used for holistic things. It was medicinal. All right. All right, and we just read the history of it. And it can be hallucinogenic. We talked about that. And it has a licoricey taste. Absinthe primarily tastes like anise seeds. I love anise seeds. Anise seeds. When I went to the Yucatan, they had these little cups that they gave out to everybody, and it tastes just like straight like anise water. They probably had something else in it, but it tastes just straight like star anise water. Um, it can have some floral qualities of fennel and licorice. Its inherent bitterness comes from wormwood. That's why they have the sugar cubes with it. It can add a spicy botanical edge to your cocktails. Now they try to give you how to drink it. All right, little tips. You're supposed to sip it. Like how they be talking about that sipping on some scissor bullshit. Peace to everybody. Right, right. Peace, peace, peace. Peace. Yep. Chico said he heard it's a trip. Pony Locks 7371. Peace to you. Greetings, CO Halito. Yeah, they do try to ban what they can't fucking control. That's what they do. But it is I didn't even show y'all the whole little thing, but it's usually served like, you know, this. You know, with some sugar cubes. Green fairy. And I'm just reading and I didn't even share that page. But yeah, so because of the bitterness from the wormwood, it is served with some sugar cubes. And they do have some books about it, some good books if you want to get into it, but you can make your own recipe if you want to add other things. But the main ingredients: wormwood, star anise, fennel, those are the main ones. And another recipe added hyssop. All right. And of course you put it in that 100 proof alcohol and let it just sit and soak and soak and soak. Like he said that shit was it'll last her 5 years. It had been soaking for a long time. Of course, he was exaggerating, but they sell those like in the Botanicas, the Hoodoo drugstores, you know, because they used to have Hoodoo drugstores. So these are some books about it. Hideous Absinthe, A History of the Devil in a Bottle, because you know they always demonize shit. All right. La Absinthe, Art Histoire. All right. They got A Taste of Absinthe, Absinthe Encyclopedia, History in a Bottle, A Myth Always Green, Petit Traité de la Absinthe, Les Mythes Ressuscite. Okay. Absinthe Sip of Seduction. All right. Pernod, 200 years. Ocom, Absinthe, Zicomzola. All right. Sanning Oat Mit. So these are some books on absinthe. You know, just a little absinthe. And let me see. And this is what your friends do. Some shit like this. Wait a minute. I just want to show this. Yep, I'm showing this because I just love this movie.
Good one.
Drink. Yeah.
You know what? You guys should.
She mixing that shit up. She mixing that shit up. And it's just so funny to me because I love this movie. She got that bottle going. Yeah. So, all right, let me pull up this book. All right. Let me pull it up. Y'all having a good Friday night? I appreciate y'all spending a little hour with me. Because I know people got shit to do. We got a 3-day weekend. 3-day weekend. I don't got no absinthe tonight, but I got some poke, some tequila. All right, let's see. That's one of my drinks of choice. All right, let's see. Let me pull this up. All right, so and this looked like it ferment, got some herbs in it right here. And they show some little herbs. I got some little herbs on here. What you want to make your own bottle of absinthe. All right, now in the Hoodoo Urban Root book. Okay, star anise. Okay, star anise is an Asian tree in the magnolia family. Okay. All right. Whose sacred character is obvious from the fact that it is planted around tombs, temples in Japan. And it's also in the magnolia family. Where you got some magnolia trees at? In the South. All right. I don't know. We may have some magnolias here in the Midwest, but in the South they got them. All right. It's a bark. Its bark is a fragrant incense. But in America, we generally only see the seeds for sale and their characteristic stellate capsules. These are held um, to be of great mystical power. So this tells you the healing properties of the herbs and roots. And then it tells you the spiritual power of the herbs and roots. So this is the Hoodoo Herb and Root Magic book. So every hoodooist, herbalist, people that are into holistic health, this should be in your library. All right. So, all right. This deals with it can ward off evil, envy, bad luck. It can ward off that. It brings good luck. Many people carry a star anise pod in their conjure bag or their mojo bag. And it should, the ones for money should be green. The potent ones could be red for that fiery power, the green for the earthly power. All right, so you can carry it in your mojo bag or your medicine bag. All right, to ward off evil, to ward off the evil eye. It is said to bring good luck, influences love, positive energy, money, health matters, especially powerful for visions and lucky hunches. So it is a hallucinogenic. You gonna see some shit. You're gonna see some shit. People experienced it gains a chance to claim that if they dream lucky, they will have good luck the next day. So they just talk about people that have experienced this. People have good, potent spiritual dreams when they have star anise, whether you drink it as a tea or you put it in some water and let it soak. You drink that. You will have vivid dreams. Vivid dreams. Okay. You can tap in and experience healing through dreams using star anise. You can cook dishes with star anise, like different desserts. All right. Um, you can burn it. I've burnt it, and I could tell the effects in the atmosphere. You can burn it on your altar to your ancestors, or when you're doing spiritual work, you can burn some star anise. Um, you can make your own incense of it, and it's supposed to bring good luck also. So that's star anise, and I should be pulling this up on the screen, but I wanted to show y'all this book. I got this book. It's one of my Hoodoo Herbalist Bible. This one and my Currendismo, and I got a couple of other healing books that I use for holistic purposes. Let's see. You. Wow, wait a minute. Okay, wormwood. They got wormwood in here. All right, wormwood is carried at the waist. It is protective. All right, hung in a bag, a mojo bag, a medicine bag. You put you some wormwood in your medicine bag, your mojo bag, your conjure bag. All right, it has protective qualities. These strong things from the earth, which Great Spirit made for us, is potent. It's some potent herbs and roots. And our ancestors, especially in the Creole and Indigenous cultures, they knew about the herbs and the roots of the earth. All right. You can put it near your car's mirror. It will prevent accidents. You can burn it on charcoal and call up on your helpful ancestral spirits. All right. Botanical uses of wormwood is related to, it's also related to mugwort, which will give you some potent dreams and visions. And southern wood is used in similar ways. Now, the wormwood we talked about, it will kill intestinal worms. So not only did our ancestors make these good fire liquors, but they also had medicinal purposes. Yes, they also have medicinal purposes. And now my Wikipedia, they really, let's see. Now the Wiccans, they deal with absinthe. Whether you were Bruja, a Mambo, a medicine woman or man, a conjurer, someone who deals with herbs from Great Spirits Earth, and you use it, to put within your body to promote healing or protective measures to ward off evil, etc. But the Wikipedia just basically goes more into divination. It don't really. It just talks about the Bruja's toolkit was essential in a toolkit. So you can make your own incense, oils, and brews. All right. And once you read what the herbs are used for, you make your own fucking recipes. Just do your due diligence. I am not a medical doctor. Disclaimer, I am not. I am just sharing the culture and spirituality of my ancestors, Creole and Indigenous culture. They used the herbs and roots. They knew what it was for, what the power of it. All right. And they used it. And they also had a good fucking time. So, anybody got any comments or questions? Because this is a kind of short one today. Let me pull up this while y'all thinking on y'all questions or comments. Sometimes in these fucking cocktails, they be putting some crazy shit in here. Now, I won't be drinking this, but this is another recipe I pulled up. When they put the eggs in it, it just lost it for me. But like this one, the Wiccan Green Fairy, absinthe recipe blends traditional absinthe with mystical elements, focusing on the classic Green Fairy cocktail ingredients: absinthe, lemon, sugar, water, egg white for texture. Bitch, I ain't put no egg white in my fucking liquor drink. No. And I like shots. So I'm not putting no egg white in for texture. Y'all, you can leave that shit out. Often adding herbs like mint, rosemary for flavor, using a ceremonial sugar cube drip for the ritualistic louche or clouding effect, evoking natural magic for a potent, frothy herbal citrus drink. All right, they put absinthe, fresh lemon juice, simple syrup, no egg white, a dash of Angostura bitters, mint, spring, or lemon twist for garnish. And they just tell you how to shake it and do all that shit. What's your favorite drink to drink around MardiGras time? Yes, of course, hurricanes. We gonna talk about, hell no egg shits. But in my next installment, we're going to deal with rum and bourbon. But we're going to pull up the hurricane because the hurricane is like the red and the green. We can rival the absinthe. But the absinthe is more for medicinal purposes. And you can get fucked up too because you soak those herbs and roots in some 100 proof alcohol. That pure grain alcohol shit. Okay? Yeah. So the hurricane, the infamous hurricane. And I need to do a dedication to the hurricane. Slurricane. Yes. Yes, as the click would say. Be legit, E40 in the click. Hurricane, one of my favorites around MardiGras time. I got to play that. That's on my playlist. Gotta do it. All right, so of course this goes with the rum theme. I'm gonna be doing rum and bourbon and some other things for my next Dife FEU Fire Fridays. But leading up to MardiGras, we count down to MardiGras Carnival time. So this is a signature drink, the Hurricane, right? We're going to visit this site, but I'm going to just read the overview. A New Orleans Hurricane is a sweet, strong, rum-based cocktail famous for its fruity flavor and vibrant red-orange color, typically made with light and dark rum, passion fruit juices, syrup, orange juice, lime juice, simple syrup, grenadine, served in a tall hurricane glass and garnished with an orange slice and cherry. It's a signature drink from the Pat O'Brien's bar. I've been there in the French Quarter, known for its tropical taste. All right. So we did break down the ingredients. So this is New Orleans tourism, but you want to get with somebody that know the city. Now my cuz Chatupa, he's gonna be bringing y'all those authentic Negro Indian Louisiana tours. He's gonna be bringing y'all those tours, so y'all need to holler at him. Tell him I sent you. Okay. He's gonna be doing those tours of Louisiana, the tours that you ain't gonna get. Now they do got some good tours. I've taken some tours. All right, I've taken a lot of tours, and I did my own independent tours and went to certain places that I felt led to go to, and some of the places I read about I went to. I still have family in the Baton Rouge area. My older family that is from New Orleans, they are ancestors now. But some of my family's still in Baton Rouge. When I go down there, I want to give me some fire ass, spicy ass seafood, and I want to get some good drinks. And Hurricane is on my list because rum has a different effect. Now, I love me some tequila, and I do love rum. I like the dark rum. I think it tastes richer, but that's my personal preference. So, if you go to this Pat O'Brien's, they are famous for the hurricane drinks. We have a restaurant here in the Midwest that's famous for the hurricane drinks, but okay, so they give the recipe, New Orleans signature drink recipe, Hurricane. Be blown away by one of the NOLA's most favorite cocktails. What is a hurricane cocktail? The most popular drink with visitors to the French Quarter may just be the sweet red hurricane served with big old cherry and a juicy orange slice. This local libation was created with rum at Pat O'Brien's bar during World War II when whiskey was hard to come by. The name for the drink came from the glass it was served in that resembles a hurricane lamp. A perfect place to sip a hurricane is still in Pat O's legendary courtyard. Yes, I've been there. All right, overlooking the flaming fountain is beautiful at night. You could find them elsewhere around the city as well. Most bartenders will be happy to mix you one. You can try the frozen ones. All right, to drive through daiquiris in the French market. Okay, and then they give their recipe, which is the same recipe. So these are just things to get us ready for Mardi Gras Carnival time. Because whether I'm in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, northern Louisiana, Bossier City, yes, where my family is also from that area, some of my family, that area, whether I'm there or whether I'm here, I'm gonna have me a nice drink during Mardi Gras Carnival time, and I will put on some regalia. This is just other things you can do, other places you can visit when you go to New Orleans, Louisiana. But like I said, hit up my cuz, Chatupa. Y'all start blowing up his Facebook, his social media, and tell him what them tours be like. What's up with them Louisiana Creole? He's not gonna name it Creole culture because we know Creole is a misnomer, but it is a moniker that I embrace because some of my family came from that culture. But he's gonna say he'll give you a southeastern indigenous tour of Louisiana, especially New Orleans. So y'all blow his social media up, Chatupa, Chitopa, and tell him you want them tours. All right. Tell him I sent you. Okay. Okay. Your family used to make it out of cactus fruit, yucca, and corn. Yeah, corn liquor. My family made corn liquor too. So I can relate to you, Chico. Yes. Yes, yes. Also, Mescalero, they could make the drink from pine bark. Okay, 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 cool. And Pony Lock said, dark rum. Yes, yep, I like dark rum. You hear that whiskey is our indigenous drink from Tennessee and not Ireland. Okay, yep, like the lady that bought that what is it, Mr. Something. She bought that whiskey back. She bought it back and took it to the next level. That famous whiskey. I forgot the name of it. Uncle Nick. Yeah, okay. No, it ain't. Yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. That's the man that Jack Daniels got the recipe from. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we know about that shit. Yep. Yep, our ancestors, our indigenous ancestors, all shades made some fire drinks. They had holistic properties first. That's what they made it for first. Holistic properties, and it was for healing purposes. Definitely healing purposes. And I wanted to show some let me see, the Wiccans, and then we can close out. I just wanted to vibe with y'all because I love counting down to Mardi Gras Carnival season. It's one of my favorite times of the year. Mardi Gras Carnival and Fête Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Ancestors, the Feast of the Ancestors, the Day of the Dead. That's another one. Them two right there, y'all gonna catch me in rare form because I'm gonna be celebrating. I'm gonna be showing my ass, but not literally. Okay. Let's. Yeah, I will be showing my ass, but not literally. Okay, so all right, so not only do our ancestors deal with the nature spirits, but you know, you have the Irish that were there too mixed in there. That's where you get Baron Samedi and Maman Brigitte, some Irish type influences. So let me pull this up. Y'all got any comments or questions? Any topics y'all want to discuss? Dealing with. I love that y'all told me about the liquor and reminded me. Chico shared his paternal Apache people made the drink from the cactus fruit, yucca, and corn, which is really cool as fuck. I love authentic home recipes, homemade shit. I love that shit. Yeah, because my great grandmother, she made her own wine. My uncles, they made moonshine, corn liquor. They made some shit. And Pony Locks reminded us about Uncle Neely's, that whiskey. Yeah, he made it, and Jack Daniels got that recipe. Yeah, so most definitely. Let's see. So they did sell these drinks also in Hoodoo drugstores, in which this is the book that I have right here. Hoodoo Herb and Root Magic. All right. When I give herbal tips, especially around Day of the Dead and MardiGras time, when I do, you know, some spiritual sessions, I use my New Orleans Voodoo Tarot and my Herb and Root Magic book just for some tips. And I use that for both times. And for your Mesoamerican Indigenous astrology, I will use the Toltec Oracle. So I do the French, the Spanish, because I have both in my ancestry. And of course, you already know the Indigenous and the Creole diasporic mixture. But I love it because our ancestors knew about the herbs and the roots for healing, medicinal purposes, root work. Yes, all that good stuff. Herbal and natural healing components of the misnomer African American Hoodoo traditions, which it is Negro Indian Hoodoo traditions using plants, minerals, animal products for physical and spiritual wellness, often blending diasporic African, Native American, American Indian, European remedies, Spanish and French, for cures, protection, or you got some people that's on that other shit on the other side. You know, it's a time for everything. Some people use it for harming. So you just got to be careful when you're doing that type of shit, because it can come back to your ass, especially if it is unjust. It can come back on your ass. So you can use it for healing or to have somebody back up off you. If you want some self-defense shit, hey, your ancestors will support you. So it's also used for protection or to harm someone. Just be careful. Tread lightly. All right. Root work, chewing roots are. My granny used to chew some roots. How many of y'all grandparents, great grandparents, your elders used to chew roots? All right. Yes. It's another medicinal purpose. creating medicinal concoctions for ailments, codes to arthritis, distinct from commercialized or dogmatic practices. Yes. Hoodoo pharmacology, root work, core practice of using roots and other natural materials, often involving chewing roots to release their sap for spiritual power or physical effects. Botanical blends, using a wide array of herbs, leaves, and plants like elderberries for cold, wild leeks, or barks for pain, combined with other elements like mud, water, and animal parts. Holistic approach addresses both physical ailments, cause arthritis, infections, spiritual, psychological issues, protection, luck, love. There is a cultural syncretism. It is something that we have in common. Like a lot of cultures, we have a lot, some things in common. All right, we have some things in common. And it talks about the merging of these cultures, like the Creole or Creoles, Maroon, Mestizo, Melungeon culture merges a lot of culture, bloodlines together, and spiritual and cultural practices. They merge together. They blur the lines. They're just in a gumbo pot. All right. So yes, it merges the diasporic or African and Indigenous American European settler remedies developed by prisoners of war or enslaved peoples in the South. All right. Variations of practices. They differ regionally. They even name the Gullah. They are presumably talking about the Gullah Geechee, in which they are a mixture of people. They have indigenous blood, the people in the Sea Islands, and between practitioners, root doctors, conjurers, with some focusing on good healing and others on spiritual workings. Beyond religion, will often link to spiritual traditions. Its pharmacology is a folk practice. So they used to have hoodoo drugstores where they had herbs and roots up on the shelves. It wasn't this synthetic medicine that's mixed with some herbs and roots, because those people did copy from our medicine people. They learned from them which herbs and roots to get to make this medicine or that medicine. All right. So while often linked to spiritual traditions, its pharmacology is a folk practice focused on practical outcomes and understanding nature's power, distinct from dogmatic religions. So, just different uses dealing with healing, codes, digestion, pain, inflammation, protection, etc. So you would go to a hoodoo store. Like today they have botanicas and different herbs and root stores. They have all kind of names for them now. Have y'all been to Hoodoo drugstore or botanicas? Most people that probably visit my channel, spit that tobacco in a can. Yep, that's snuff. My great grandmother, she used to do snuff. So I feel you on that. Yep. It's I believe Fat Tuesday, which is MardiGras, the last day. So we celebrate up until the last day. I believe it is February 17th. Yeah, I believe it's February 17th. Let me pull it up. Yep, February 17th. Yep. With Carnival season kicking off on the 12th night, January 6th, baby. All right. Yes. Featuring parades, parties, celebrations. If you have not ever went to MardiGras, you have missed a celebration like no other. I've been to several MardiGras. All right. Especially in my college days, my heydays. All right. Yes. And you want to go to New Orleans. And I keep saying I'm going to go to Mobile one year because that's the birthplace of Mardi Gras. But I have not celebrated Mardi Gras in Mobile. I have not. I have only celebrated Mardi Gras in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, or Grambling State University, or here at my Midwestern residence. So, all right, so they deal with the parades, the parties, the celebrations throughout the preceding weeks, especially in New Orleans and Galveston, too. St. Louis, they have a big one up here, St. Louis. And I always connected to the St. Louis cemeteries. They also have a big celebration up here in the Midwest in St. Louis. So they have all these key parades, events. Make sure y'all check out the Backstreet Museum in the Trimmy. That's in the Negro Indian neighborhoods, where they put on their own parades. And oh yes, and I will be showcasing that leading up to Mardi Gras on one of my Dife Fire Fridays. I will be, yes, focusing on the Mardi Gras Indians, the Carnival Indians. All right. It's a mixture of indigenous and diasporic culture. All right. They had these big old parades and etc. So you start kicking it, preparing January 6th, and then the last day is February 17th, Fat Tuesday. That's the last day to go all the fuck out because Catholicism has, affected it because the next day is Ash Wednesday. If you Catholic or you have Catholic influences like Santeria, because I've delved in a lot of diasporic spiritual practices and culture. Ash Wednesday is the day to ask for forgiveness and then start Lent, where you start cleansing and purging and fasting, etc. All right. So Galveston, Texas, they go hard too. They gonna try to commercialize the shit, in which Disney, even when they did the Princess and the Frog, how the Creole Negro Indian Tiana, she married that French man. Yeah, so it does get commercialized and everything. Yep, it does. All right, I was trying to find some old pictures of the Hoodoo drugstores because they actually used to have them, and they still do now. Basically, botanicas are like the new age modern version of those. Hoodoo drugstores were unique pharmacies, especially prominent in New Orleans and the South, that blended traditional medicine with indigenous and diasporic folk magic. Hoodoo, Conjure, selling herbs, roots, oils, candles, talismans, alongside remedies for physical ailments, catering to spiritual needs with items like Go Away, law candles, love filters for luck, love, protection, They had this historic one, the Cracker Jack in New Orleans and Enola, and Miller's Rexall, Atlanta, which served as cultural hubs for spiritual supplies and practices, evolving from traditional pharmacy models to specialized metaphysical shops. All right. They provided esoteric items for Hoodoo practitioners. I'm a Hoodoo practitioner. They sold spiritual items like lodestone, mojo bags, colored candles, incense, herbs, roots like hyssop, oils, powders, alongside conventional drugs. It was a community hub. It became vital centers of Negro Indian spiritual cultural life, Creole life, Creoles life, especially as traditional voodoo went underground. All right. A famous blend of pharmaceuticals and magic supplies, uh, homeopathic remedies. Yeah, so a lot of things in the hoodoo culture. You had famous practitioners like, of course, Dr. John and some other ones. Of course, Marie Laveau. You have voodoo and hoodoo are kissing cousins. All right. One deals solely with the spiritual aspects, and one deals with the earthly mixed with the spiritual aspects. They showing the music from him, but this one, where you at? Okay, Conjure Doctors. Let's look at this one. All right, yes, Conjure Doctors. All right, shout out to Denise Alvarado for her article. I done lost the page. Excuse me. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. So there's different conjure doctors. Shout out to her for her site. You have Aunt Caroline, Black Herman. Everybody probably heard of Black Herman. Dr. John Montagny, Chicken Man, Dr. Jim Jordan, Granny Marr, Gullah Jack, Nelson Ray Meyer, Patsy Moses, a Texas conjure woman. So, all right. So, this is what they say. All right. Dr. John Montagne is the father of New Orleans voodoo, the Loa of drummers and root doctors, and patron to male voodoo practitioners and female root women. All right. Not much was written about his life prior to the recent publications of Dr. John Montagny, a grimoire by Louise Martigny, a book that promises to be highly influential in documenting the evolution of New Orleans voodoo in the 21st century. Honored to have contributed a couple of essays to the grimoire, and following several paragraphs are expected from one of the articles. The Superstition of Dr. Jean, or Dr. Jean A. Handwriting Investigation. Articles describe experiences with Dr. John as a teenager and then culminates in an analysis of his handwriting in an effort to learn more about him. All right. after examining Dr. John's signature, they suggest Dr. John was a driven and industrious man who had a desire not only to do well and adjust to the events of his life as someone who was stolen, sold as a indentured servant, a slave, and forcibly moved to a different country. He was moved to Cuba, one place that's on my bucket list. All right. But to do exceedingly well. He no doubt suffered from terrible trauma, and his way of dealing with it was to master whatever task it was he was told to do. It is said he was either a Bambarian prince or the son of a Bambarian prince. And if this is the case, the effect on him, his ego, his sense of importance, would have been devastating on a different level, than someone who was not a leader with a huge responsibility to his community. So basically, they're just giving their take on it. I'm just skimming through this. I want to get to the meat and potatoes right here. Okay. It says, in addition to being successful in his various jobs as a provider, he would have taken his role as a leader of the Voodoos quite seriously, as well as Gregory's is a religio-magical system originating. Some of it is in Senegal in the diaspora, but Voodoo also came from Saint Domingue, Haiti, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic, Hispaniola, and in the South. All right, Voodoo and Hoodoo. All right, Southeastern tribes, Indigenous, and that Creole culture made up uh, Voodoo and Hoodoo. Basically, that's what makes it up, those people and the cultures and practices. All right, so it's knowledge of the Gris is one of the most unique characteristics of New Orleans voodoo and a tradition that persists today. His contribution to the New Orleans religion is unsurpassed. All right, his legacy lives on in the hearts and of the mysteries can be heard and felt in the beat of every drum. Beyond his need for recognition and the importance of his role in the development of New Orleans voodoo, as we know it today, he would have also been a great healer. All right. He was connected to others on a personal level and would have had a genuine concern for their well being because he was a healer also. He would have helped people who asked and would have also figured out how to make money doing the very thing that created an air of mystique around him. Thanks to Dr. John and Marie Laveau, New Orleans voodoo and hoodoo continues to afford many people the opportunity to make a living today, etc. So, you can give an offering of absinthe to Dr. John if you want to incorporate him alongside your ancestors first. On your altar should be your ancestors first and foremost. Your ancestors. Peace, George. Yeah, it should be about your ancestors first and your spirit guides, and then if you want to show respect to others, then add them. Like, cause I have my ancestors and spirit guides on my altar, and I also have some other things on my altar. Like I do have Herzuli Dantor, which is also called Saint Barbara. All right, the great brown Madonna, black Madonna, Tiazin, uh, Tanazin, the Virgin Guadalupe, the great brown mothers of the world. And I got Marie Laveau, the archetype for a voodooist, the voodoo priestess. So absent, we talking about absence today. With this green, the herbs, the roots representing anything earthly, herbs and roots. So these are things that you can, if you want to work with Dr. John, if you want to show him respect after you done did your ancestors and your spirit guides first, if you want to, give him some respect, if you learn some things from him and you want to tap into that energy, that's another thing. These are things that you can do to get some visions, dreams, or physical manifestations. If you want to go that deep, all right, and ask for some favors, you can give him an offering of absence, which we showed that today with the absence, that potent shit right here. This is why I got all this, the green fairy, all right here with the herbs and roots. You can offer this to Dr. John. And a Hoodoo pharmacy would have shelves with all of these different things to promote healing. Dried herbs and roots hanging up, all of this. This is what our ancestors' Hoodoo pharmacies was looking like. And today, we do have a lot of botanicas that have this same type of thing. All right. So you can offer some absinthe to him, graveyard dirt from Saint Roche, or general dirt from a graveyard. You got to be careful if you don't know about whose grave that is and all that. You need to get guidance. You need to get guidance. Don't just be out there doing some willy-nilly shit. You got to know what the fuck you doing. You got to be protected. You got to know what the fuck you doing. All right. Or you can just get dirt. Get some dirt from your house. Cleanse it first. Get you some Palo Santo, some copal, some some uh some rosemary. And yeah, you can use sage. All of that. You want to cleanse it. Get you some salt. Some salt water. Cleanse it. All right. You can use high john root, low john root, percussion instruments. If you got a drum, drums, water from Bayou Saint Jean, earth from Bayou Saint John, earth from Congo Square. I've been there. Red brick dust, healing herbs and roots in general, gris. Okay. So these are things that you can offer if you want to tap into the powerful healer energy of Dr. John. If you want to tap into that, you can offer these things to him. So, medicine bags, mojo bags, amulets, talismans, or gris. It's something that you deem powerful. Of course, what's in it is herbs and roots, or crystal stones, different things from the earth, charms, etc. They're cleansed and prayed over, affirmations are spoke over them, etc. Those are gris. That's what you can, give, to show your appreciation. They also have some veves on here, all right? So they also talk about the above dirts, roots, Creoles can be used to create a variety of conjures in petitions to Dr. John, where you ask him for help. People also call on Black Hawk for help. All right. Black Hawk is a Sac and Fox chief. A lot of spiritualist churches still practice hoodoo and some voodoo elements in their It's kind of like Santeria, a mixture. That's why I like Umbanda. I tap into that because it's a gumbo pot of these spiritual systems. And a lot of our ancestors use those spiritual systems like Catholicism and things like that as a front. And they practice the real shit on the under. And then on Sundays at Congo Square, they could, get their spiritual on, but they was doing it anyway in private. So this just gives you a walk inside of the front door of some practices. Um, Creating conjures, one of the Voodoo Veves for drumming. Uh, you can use the Rada for cool, balance conjures, or the Petro for that hot fire shit. The tempestuous conjures. All right, you can visit some conjure pages. They got one for drjohnvoodoo.com for more guidance and ideas on how to make gree lamps. All right, so if you just flowing, you want to have some balanced energy with it, this is the Veve you want to use. If you want to tap into some hot shit, you better be prepared. This is the Veve for that hot Petro shit. All right. You got the Rada, and then you got the Petro. All right. Choose wisely. All right. Note that Dr. John Montanet's grimoire, Louise Martini, describes an elixir. Like absence is an elixir. These drinks that our ancestors made, or some people may call them concoctions, but they are elixirs. Okay. He created for Dr. John the cause consecrating 2 high John roots with the elixir of red lion and white eagle. All right. For those unfamiliar with the alchemical literature, Louis T. Culling was Grandmaster of an occult lodge called GBG, Great Brotherhood of God. And a lot of our ancestors, they were Masons and Eastern Stars and in these other societies. And so they did do some conjure work and rituals. All right. My great grandmother was an Eastern Star. My aunt is an Eastern Star. I have some people in my family and people that are Masons, etc. And they deal with the secret things, the hidden things, in which, in essence, if you tap in there are no secrets. If you tap into the one that knows all secrets, nothing is secret. It's all about you. It's all about you and what's within you. That's the secret. That you use other things that the creator's creator has put here on the earth to help you, like, enhance you or help open you up, tap you in to use your powers, etc. All right, so now they talk about they even have had this book called The Manual of SEX Magic that contain codes for describing alchemical processes. The main terms in the code and their translations are red lion, the male alchemist, for his genitalia, is penis, white eagle, the alchemist's mate, for her vajayjay, her sacred yoni. Retort is the womb or the vajayjay. Transmutation or transubstantiation, an altered state of consciousness. Basically, orgasmic energy is the battery pack to the SEX magic. Building up to it. Keep building up to it. Keep building up to it while you reciting all these words and doing all these things. And then when you get that big O, that's when you are pulling it down or pulling it out, whatever you trying to manifest. That's when like the floodgates open type of thing. So this guy, Luis Martini, he was tapping into Dr. John's wisdom and knowledge, and he also was tapping into this, the great brotherhood of God. God is within, goddess is within. That's the secret. All right. The Chariot of Antimony by Basile Valentine. Okay. Okay. Okay, dandelion wine. Okay. Now I've made some dandelion, like making dandelion root tea. Yeah, it's good. It's good for you. Yes. Yep. Okay. That's what's up. And so this is a little and really the elixir is the vaginal juices and the semen. It's both. The balance is whenever you doing work, unless you just like trying to do some healing for yourself and you a male or you a female, you just kind of doing one thing if that's what you want to do. But if you really want to tap into some holistic spiritual practices, you're going to tap into both. You're going to have a balance. If the elixir is going to be semen, it's going to be some vaginal juices too from the womb, the portal to life. So you got to have those two married together, that balance. So see where absinthe got us. We started out here, y'all. We started out, just dealing with absinthe. But absinthe, that green fairy drink, is healing, but it can also lead to other things to where we start to talk about other elixirs. And this Dr. John, this guy that wrote these books and tapped into Dr. John's wisdom, The Chariot of Antimony by Basile Valentine, 1642, contains the following description of the lion and eagle of alchemy. These are kind of like our indigenous ancestors' story, oral tradition stories, all right? But it says, let the lion and eagle duly prepare themselves as prince and princess of alchemy, as they may be inspired. Let the union of the red lion and the white eagle be neither cold nor in heat. Now then comes the time when the elixir is placed in the alembic retort to be subjected to the gentle warmth. If the great work be transubstantiation, then the red lion may be fed upon the flesh and blood of the god. And also let the red lion duly feed the white eagle. Yea, may the mother eagle give sustained mote and guard the inner life. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna do one after MardiGras. We're gonna do a Fire Fridays about different type of practices like this. But see where absinthe led us. We start off talking about absinthe and hurricanes, and then we get to these other elixirs, these natural elixirs that we have naturally. Okay. All right. So then, he giving them the recipe, y'all. It says, thus, in Luis's description of his conjure, water for Dr. John, the two high Johns are anointed with the sperm and vaginal juices. This is why I said that you got to have both of the conjurer and his or her partner are touched by the phallus or the sacred yoni, harnessing the power of the female and the male creative energies and balance as a primary ingredient in any conjure cure. Note, they say that this is their interpretation, but I already said it got to be balanced. All right. All right. So, yeah. So then they break down this. And so they start talking about him and they feel that he's the last of the voodoos, right? But the voodooists live on. All right. They live on because I practice a little bit of a lot of things that my ancestors tapped into. And I look at things with balance. It's a time for everything. It's a time for the good things. And then I got some self-defense things in my arsenal. But you want to treat people how you want to be treated. You don't want to just be out there doing no crazy shit. All right. The Last of the Voodoos by Lafcadio Hearn from American Miscellany, Volume 2, 1924. Originally published in Harper's Weekly, November 7th, 1855. Oh, this is a lot of shit. Wait a minute. We're not reading this, but I mean, I could. If y'all want to hear it, I could read it. Or y'all could go to this site because I did want to look at some of the other people too. But I'm gonna just focus on a certain words and things that pop out. Okay, so basically, Dr. John Montagny, he had many names. He went by John Montagny, Jean La Ficili, or Jean Latani, Jean Racine, or Jean Grigri, or Jean Makaki, Makake, or Jean Bayou, or Voodoo John, Bayou John, Dr. John, the last of the Voodoos. All right. He was a high priest. These swarthy, these Melungeon Creoles people, swarthy occultists, continue to elect their queens and high priests through years to come. Okay, because people do elect people. Now, I'm an adept. If you new to the occult world or you been in the occult world, I'm an adept. All right. Great Spirit has initiated me. Okay. Into some things. All right. Now I share stuff on my channel, but I have been initiated into some things via Great Mystery, Great Spirit, the creator, source of all things. Some people feel like they got to be initiated by brotherhoods and sisterhoods, etc. Or covens, etc. Any kind of group of people, like a community, a family, etc. All right. Or you can just be a natural spiritual adept. All right. And you can congregate with others that are adepts, you know. So basically, they refer to him as a black. They say no black hierophant now remains. So they feel like he was the shit. Voodoo John, and of course, Marie Laveau. They say that there will never be another Rose, another Marie, another Jean Bayou. This is how they feel. So they just talk about him and his bloodline, etc. But this is just one aspect, Dr. John. So, during this time, you can delve into Creole history of different practitioners and what they did. Like we looked at absinthe and the hurricanes, etc. Herbs and roots. Our ancestors did pick herbs and roots. Okay. So they did use and make up herbal medicines for everything. And that's what they say in a nutshell. So if y'all want to read more about him, y'all can look at this site. It's a good one. And y'all can get this book. This is a book reference. If y'all want this book reference. Dr. Jean Montagny, A Grimoire. All right. The Path of a New Orleans Loa, Resurrection and Remembrance. Okay, so this is a big one. History and folklore have Dr. John filling many posts. He was a free man of color, reputed to be a contemporary Marie Laveau in the Voodoo on Congo Square, a New Orleans conjure man, drummer, herbalist, physician, and spiritual doctor, as well as having a coffee house and dealing in real estate. He was a man of worth, knowing, and a man worth knowing, and is a spirit worth working with, basically. So this book just deals with Griffin's Nest festivals, Louisiana, Starwood festivals, Babylon Rising festivals, etc. But this deals with the first conjure, the pelican, speaking in the voice, a conjure ball, links and talismans, links and pathways, voices of the community, experiments, explorations, experiences, investigations, teachings, and conjures. So they give a list of books that are good for conjurers out there, hoodooists, voodooists, urban root people, medicine people. If you want to tap into some great Negro, Indian, or just indigenous, that gumbo pot of indigenous culture. I always listen to The Doctor by Claudia Williams, Dr. John Montagny. The physician's message is know thyself. I said it's about self within. It's about you. You're the secret. What's within you? By Lilith Dorsey. Grigri's Lamp by Dr. John Montagny. By Denise Alvarado. To Sleep on the Tomb of Dr. John Montagny. By Witch Doctor Utu. People, of course, go see Marie Laveau's supposed tomb. I've went there too. Notes on the painting of the tomb of Dr. John by Linda Filario. Bringing Balance to the Order of Voodoo Religion by Priestess Miriam. That I'm gonna tap into that one because I love stuff with balance. All right, the Elevation of Dr. John Montaigne by Andre Vitimus. Some Conjurers by Louis Martini. A Dream and a Ritual Record by Megath Lynn. You Can Be a Healer Now by Baron Sivia. He Walked from His House by Hungan. Stephen Denny. A Dream by Pamela Marie Nemec. Drum Needed to Be Played by Midnight Herex. Sweet Sweet Water, 2012. Babylon Rising Festival, Conjure by Sarah Terry. So they have a lot of little Voodoo Pilgrimage, New Orleans, ending at the beginning, Y, and Apologia, the Spiritual Doctors of New Orleans, Sonic Sigil, so Veves and Sigils. You can look up books on those. You can make your own sigils. Okay. Sonic Sigil, Drumming, Dr. John's Name by Vovin Longchin, Louis Martini. Dr. John's Marriage Progression, Astrological Chart by Reverend Bill Duvendak. Dr. John's Natal Astrological Chart by Reverend Bill Duvendak. Dr. John's Montagne, An Astrological Riddle by Reverend Bill Dovendak. The Superstition of Dr. John, a handwriting investigation by Denise Alvarado. And Bright's Disease, a medical investigation by Sarah Gray. So they look at his signature, the records of his occupation. Yeah. So these are different conjure doctors and spiritual mothers. Shout out to Denise. She did a good job. So we got a Mississippi conjure doctor, 1926. He has a remarkable gift of turning as green as grass most. And when he was just as black as a man could well be, and his hair covered his neck, and around his neck he had a what? Okay, so he had a necklace that had a string that had lizards tied to it. So lizards, alligators, snakes, those have spiritual significance. So those are powerful animal spirits. So if you have a piece of them, you're gonna have to you're gonna give thanks, etc. You're gonna cleanse it, all of that, if you want to tap into the power of that. So so they gave these analogies of these different people, these conjurers, these conjure doctors, female and male. And then, of course, I have Jean Montagny. There you go. Charles Harrison, CH. He was a Mason. CH Mason was an American Pentecostal holiness. Like these holiness churches, these spiritual holiness churches, they tap into that real shit. Like when I was young and I was going to them revivals where everybody had on white and they was by the water, they was tapping into some hoodoo conjure. Okay? They was tapping into Santeria, all of that. Umbanda, a whole gumbo pot. Even though the colonists forced that on our ancestors, they still kept their spirituality and culture, and they just put it in a pot of gumbo. It's like they sifted through the bullshit and they use certain things for their purposes. So you have him, Charles Harrison, CH, all right. Ed Murphy, a Mississippi conjure doctor. There's Black Herman. Right. Benjamin Herman Rucker. He was a magician and illusionist. Like those movies, The Illusionist, like Black Herman and Pascal Beverly remind me like they in the same type of family for me when I relate things and read up on them, some of their books and some of the things, their writings. Okay. So you have Caroline Tracy Dye, better known as Aunt Caroline Dye. She was highly respected. She was a seer. Shout out to my seers out there. Those pizzatimas, elite cheese out there. All right. From folk beliefs of the Southern Negro or Southern Negro Indian, Dr. Jim Jordan of Manny's Neck in Hertford County. Oh, yeah, they got spiritual mother Maud Shannon with the Spiritualist Church. Told y'all, the spiritualist churches, they was doing that real revival shit. That real shit to heal, promote healing and things of that nature. It ain't like some of this shit that's out there today. Some of them churches that's out there today with no power. Well, they got some power of some other type of spirits. But yeah, so they even put Harriet Tubman on here. Okay, they got Gullah Jack. They got Patsy Moses. They got Mary Ellen Pleasant. Gullah Jack, I said him. Ella Dunn. Granny Doctor from the Ozarks. Oh, we got right here Marie Steele. She was a Negro Cherokee woman, Conjure woman from Washington County, Georgia, great grandmother of artist Inga Kimberly Brown. Note the cigar. Oh, she got her shit. All right. Yeah. Yeah. You know about that cigar readings. Yeah, know. But look at her. Look at Granny Doctor from the Ozarks. Look, she got some things in her hand. Yeah. Look at all these awesome conjure medicine peoples, spiritualists, hoodooists, voodooists. Whether they practice holiness, they practice a gumbo pot of things. Oh my goodness. And they got Aunt Sally from G's Bend, Alabama. She was a midwife. All right. So these are some of the conjure doctors that they give honor and respect to. So if you want to read up on them, conjuredoctors.com, shout out to them. Much respect. You did good work by naming some of the great spiritualists, hoodooists, voodooists, medicine peoples. And this is that southern pot of gumbo. Since we doing a countdown to MardiGras. Carnival time. Yes. Let's see what else is on here. We're just going to look at what else is on here. So they list the people, and then they each have a page. It's more in depth. This is kind of like the page that honors all of them, right? So they have some of the practices. You can get books and digital downloads, Conjure Doctor cures, charm making, cleansings, crossings and uncrossings, divination, doll babies, floor washes, household receipts, mojo bags, Toby's and nature sacks, money and prosperity, plantation recipes and resources. They have American Rootwork Association, a Conjure Club, Crossroads University. So if you want to check these out, check them out. As we approaching MardiGras Carnival time, celebrating Louisiana, Mobile, Creole, Creoles, Maroon, Mestizo, Mulatto, all those derivatives, that big pot of gumbo of spirituality and culture, food, drinks, that rich culture. We celebrating it. We counting down to that. Anybody got any comments or questions? Anybody got any comments or questions before we close out? Excuse me, I had planned to just spend an hour with y'all, but I did give my book recommendations, and this site gave some good recommendations for sure. Yeah, yeah. I have had some cigars, and I've had a Cuban cigar, but I didn't get it from Cuba yet. That's on my bucket list. I'm going to Cuba, and I'm getting me some of that authentic Cuban tobacco. But I've had somebody brought me a Cuban cigar. But I've had Dominican cigars. I've had, cigars. I'm a cigar connoisseur. I go to cigar bars, etc. I also have my own little, tobacco. I roll my own, all of that. I do the sacred tobacco ceremonies. So yeah. You talking about that cigar that she had? Yeah. She was a Negro Cherokee woman, and she had her cigar. She was a Negro Cherokee Conjure woman from Georgia. Note the cigar. She got her cigar. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we can. What's doing? So we're gonna close out on this. So y'all have a good Friday, 3-day weekend, all that goodness. Enjoy yourselves. I got my cigar too, as y'all can see. All right.
You worry about me, I ain't worried about you. If you don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you. And that's the truth. I don't fuck with you. 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 You worry about me, I ain't worried about you. Appreciate y'all. Much love. Respect.